This is probably your 100th How to Pass the OSCP video that you've watched instead of studying. I was in the same boat. I first started in 2021 when I stumbled upon the Cyber Mentor and took his practical ethical hacking course. I did the offensive cybersecurity learning path from TryHackMe and a few boxes from Virtual Hacking Labs. Back then, the buffer overflow was a part of the exam, so I also did the Tiberius's course, including his privilege escalation courses. Then I saved up enough money for 30-day lab access for the PWK, and I struggled so hard. Making it through about 5 machines on the PWK labs, my first and second exam attempts, I failed miserably. Before my third attempt, I purchased the Learn One subscription, which gave me lab access for a year. I did just enough to get the 10 bonus points, which was all of MedTech, OSCP A, B, C, and some labs in Relia. If I had done one more Relia box, I would have passed. I missed the crucial concept taught in the labs that led to me failing. I had everything needed for domain admin, I just didn't know what to do with it. Attempt 4 through 5, I learned my lessons and completed all the OSCP labs except for Skylark because it's above the scope for the exam. I also did TJ Noel's Proving Grounds list and passed the PMPT exam. The standalone boxes weren't that hard to me at this point, but I struggled hard getting a foothold on the Active Directory machines. On my sixth attempt, I scored 60 points. I fully compromised an extremely difficult Active Directory chain that I spent 18 hours on. I had 10 bonus points and a foothold on one other machine. The two other standalone machines felt really difficult to me, and I either needed one more foothold or privilege escalation on the last machine. But I was extremely fatigued by the Active Directory machine. A few hours after my exam ended, I found the password I needed in my scan output, but it was too late. Before my seventh attempt, I reflected on my previous attempts and did more practice in the areas I was struggling in. I did all the Linux, Windows, and Active Directory Proving Grounds machines from the Language Analogy OSCP list. I got more practice with manual privilege escalation. I purchased the lab extension and did Skylark, which was a waste of time because I didn't learn anything from it. By this point, I completed 60% of the CPTS course from Hacktobox Academy. This time, OffSec removed the 10 bonus points and implemented the assumed breach scenario for the AD section. During my exam, I passively hacked the standalone machines while I worked on the AD machine. I managed to get 30 points on the standalone machines, but even if I rooted them all, I still at least needed 10 points from the AD machine. I spent hours on the AD machine, but I got nowhere. I felt like I tried everything, but I just couldn't find the vulnerability. Even with credentials, all my notes and practice, I got nowhere. How did I do worse on the AD section this time when I got domain admin last time? Most people would have given up here, but something told me to just try one more time. I went back through the Lankonowski's list. If I couldn't complete a box within 1 hour, I would look at the answer, understand why I was stuck, then move on to the next box. Doing the boxes fast like this helped me maintain my momentum and develop a better methodology. Proving Grounds is great because it's created by the same people that make the OSCP exam. You must think like the creator of the box in order to solve it. I made a smaller cheat sheet that was more of a checklist to ensure I didn't skip any enumeration tactics. I have too many notes across multiple note-taking apps, so I needed to compress it and make it more organized. I read every VoneLab and Hacktobox write-up on the list, primarily focusing on Windows, and I completed Hacktobox Administrator, Escape 2, and Certified, which are great for assumed breach practice. I completed 84% of the CPTS learning path. This time I did more practice on privilege escalation and credential hunting. The more boxes you complete, the easier it gets. You start to see patterns, and rabbit holes become easier to detect. You only have 24 hours to hack 6 machines, so you must be very efficient. On my 8th attempt, I had 80 points within 9 hours of the exam. I spent the rest of the time trying to hack the last machine, but I just couldn't get a foothold. But that's enough about me. How can you pass this exam on your first try? For some people, the OSCP labs and course is enough for you to pass on your first try, but that's just not the case for everybody. Even if we look at Langus and Augie's story, he did all of the challenge labs and all of the course material, but he still only managed to get 60 points on his first attempt. It wasn't until doing additional practice from other resources that he managed to get 90 points. If you want to go the route of just doing the PWK course and the challenge labs, I think your best decision is to buy the Learner 1 subscription, which gives you a year of access, and you also get 2 free attempts. But it is $2,750, which is very expensive. Proving Grounds is also included in this subscription, but since the PWK Labs is so expensive compared to Proving Grounds, you should focus on doing the PWK Labs and challenges first. Option 2 is to do Proving Grounds plus the PWK Labs, but I think you should just buy the 90-day subscription. But before buying your subscription, I would suggest that you do the Langus and Augie's list and complete all the Proving Ground boxes. And if you get stuck, look at the write-ups and learn from those write-ups. And then after you complete all of those Proving Ground machines, I suggest that you do the labs. So when you get your access, you should focus doing the labs first and just skip the course material and come back to the course material once you're done the labs. You can just request to download the PDF for the course material, and you want to prioritize doing the labs since they're so expensive, because if you want to buy a 30-day lab extension, it costs $350. And with a 30-month subscription to Proving Grounds, that would cost you $60, and the 90-day lab access for the PWK costs $1,750, which is a total of $1,810. If you want to over prepare before taking the exam, the third option is to subscribe to Hack the Box Academy and complete the CPTS modules. So here are some of the CPTS modules that I recommend. And for the attacking common applications, I recommend that you focus on the CMS section and the serverlet sections. And also do the attacking enterprise networks for additional practice if you choose so. That is optional. And the attacking common services, this is highly recommended. You will get a lot of experience and practice enumerating different services. And attacking Active Directory enumeration and attacks, this is a very great module that will give you some additional AD practice. After you do the CPTS modules, I recommend that you do Proving Grounds practice. Read all of the Vuln Lab write-ups and the Hack the Box write-ups, primarily the Windows and Active Directory machines. And after you do all of that, then you sign up for the Pin 200 90-day lab access last. And this will total out to $1,858, assuming that it takes you 6 months to do the CPTS modules. But if you look at the pen testing job role path, it says that this section should only take you 43 days to complete these 28 modules. So it shouldn't take you 6 months to complete these couple of sections. And if you want to, you can just go ahead and complete all of these modules if you want to, and that will really over prepare you for everything. And here's a list of all of the modules that you can complete. And a lot of this overlaps with the things that are provided in the PWK labs, except it goes more into detail and into depth. And going back to the proving grounds list, you want to make sure that you also complete the Linux list. The Linux list will help you get an understanding of how to get a foothold in all of the machines created from OffSec. I don't think the Windows machines justified how to get a foothold in these machines. I think the Linux machines did a better job at helping me get a foothold during the exam, and the Active Directory machines were really good as well. Some additional resources that you can check out is juggernautsec.com. I always come here whenever I get stuck on the machine, and I try to find, I just search whatever I'm looking for, like Windows privilege escalation, and then I just go through his write-ups and try to find any ideas that I have. Also, a great resource is 0xdf. I read all of his Hack the Box write-ups that are listed on the Len Gusianowski's list. XCT is a very good resource. He has short form videos, and he's also the creator of PhoneLab.com, which is another list that's on the Len Gusianowski's list. Overgrown Carrot is a great resource. He has a lot of videos for Hack the Box, Proving Grounds, and Try Hack Me. And 0xBin is a great resource if you are looking for some type of cheat sheet. And he has a lot of resources, like here is a Lingolo NG guide that you can follow. It is very important that you get a lot of practice, make your own notes, and make your own cheat sheets. You can follow other people's cheat sheets, but the best cheat sheet that you can have is your own, because you will know where everything is. If I were to give someone else all of my notes, they wouldn't read all of my notes and they wouldn't know exactly where everything is if they can't find it. So that's why I recommend that you create your own cheat sheet, and the more boxes you do, the easier this exam becomes. But with the 3-month cooldown, after you fail 3 times, you start to forget some of the things that you learned from some of the boxes. So I ended up doing the Proving Grounds machines. I did some of those machines like 3 times due to those long wait times in order to retake the exam. So I recommend that you just stay sharp on your skills and just try to pass on your first attempt. And that's why I recommend that you over prepare so that you can just pass on your first attempt, so you won't have to keep going on those long wait times to retake this exam. And I wish you all the best of luck.